What if I told you there's a simple habit done just twice a day that could reignite your testosterone levels to what they were in your prime? No injections, no prescriptions, no complicated regimens, just real, natural change that your body will thank you for. Sounds wild, right? But it's not. I'm Dr. Nathan Hartley, and after over 3 decades in the field of men's health, I've walked alongside thousands of men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond as they rediscovered energy, purpose, and drive they thought were long gone. This isn't a gimmick. I'm not here to push a magic bullet. I'm here to share what's actually worked, not just for my patients, but for me too. So how does a man in his later years match the vitality of someone half his age? You might think it's science fiction. It's not. It's biology with the right cues. Today, I'll walk you through exactly what to do twice a day to naturally signal your body to produce, protect, and elevate your testosterone levels. The result? More energy, sharper mental clarity, a libido that surprises even you, and a strength not just in body, but in spirit. Plus, by the end of this video, I'll reveal a natural powerhouse compound that's transforming lives. And chances are, you've never heard of it. Stick around. This next part may change the way you think about aging forever. 1. The silent slide and why it's not your fault. Around your late 40s, maybe early 50s, something subtle begins to shift. You wake up feeling off. Not broken, just heavier. Your stamina's fading faster. You don't sleep as soundly. You're still functioning, but something's missing. That spark, that inner fire, that quiet pride that once fueled your days, it starts to dim. You start asking questions you've never asked before. Is this it? Is this just getting old? And listen, I've been in the room with former Marines, corporate titans, marathoners, men who used to be unstoppable, and now they say things like, I feel like a faded version of myself. But here's the truth. This isn't your fault. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you've done something wrong. It's biology, and no one warned you. Between age, stress, and our toxic modern environment, your testosterone can plummet by over 50% by the time you hit 60. Add in plastic toxins, nutrient depletion, constant stress, and you've got the perfect storm for hormonal collapse. But, and this is crucial, your body didn't forget how to be strong. It just needs a reminder. And when you give it that reminder, when you fuel it the right way, incredible things happen. That's what we're going into next. I'll show you a simple, actionable morning shift that can jumpstart this whole process. And if this is hitting home for you right now, do me a favor. Drop a 1 in the comments so I know you're still with me, because this is where things start getting good. 2. What testosterone actually does for men over 60. Most guys think testosterone is just about bedroom performance or biceps. That's only scratching the surface. Testosterone is the quiet current behind motivation, mental edge, and emotional stability. When it dips, life loses its color. You stop chasing goals. You get tired halfway through the day. You lose your creative edge, your drive, your connection, not just with your partner, but with yourself. You might start thinking, what happened to the guy I used to be? That's not in your imagination. Testosterone is your body's way of saying, I'm still alive. I still matter. It supports everything from memory and metabolism to mood and muscle. When your T levels are balanced, everything shifts. You get out of bed with more intention. You move through your day with more focus. You laugh louder. You engage deeper. I remember one patient, Ed, he was 68, told me, Doc, I don't want to disappear from my own story, and I'll never forget that. 2 months later, he wasn't just back in his story. He was writing a new chapter, sleeping soundly, lifting weights again, flirting with his wife like he was 30. And that wasn't luck. That was chemistry, consistency, and commitment. If you're feeling disconnected from yourself, this next step may be exactly what brings you back. 3. The twice-a-day testosterone protocol. This is where it all becomes real. No gimmicks, no 14-step plan, just a steady rhythm your body can count on, morning and night. And yes, it really is that simple. Let's talk about the morning. You treat your first meal of the day like it's your hormone command center. 2 whole eggs. Yes, the yolks matter. They carry cholesterol, which your body uses to make testosterone. Add 1 Brazil nut loaded with selenium, critical for testosterone synthesis and testicular health. Top it off with raw pumpkin seeds packed with zinc. Zinc is like a guard dog. It keeps your testosterone from getting hijacked and turned into estrogen. That breakfast isn't just food, it's fuel, it's medicine. Then in the evening, just one small action, a fingertip of wild yam cream rubbed into the soft skin of your arm or chest. Wild yam doesn't contain testosterone, but it contains natural precursors and phytochemicals that help regulate your hormone rhythms. For many of my patients, that single act, done daily, is what flips the switch. One guy told me, "Doc, I feel like I've got my edge back, and this time I know how to use it." But there's something else you need to know. Because even the best protocol can't work if something in your daily life is dragging your testosterone down. Let's talk about that hidden killer that's in your home right now, and how to cut it out before it cuts into your progress. If you're still with me, drop another one in the comments. I want to know who's locked in and ready to take back their life. We're not stopping here. Let's move into the next critical key. 4. The hidden testosterone killer in your house. Plastics. They're everywhere. Your water bottles, food containers, even your shampoo bottle. And what most men don't realize is that plastics contain chemicals called phthalates and BPA. These are endocrine disruptors. That means they mess with your hormones, big time. They mimic estrogen in your body, lowering testosterone and throwing off your natural balance. It's like pouring sugar in your gas tank. Your system just can't run right. One of my patients, Mike, 64, was doing everything right. Eating clean, moving daily, using the yam cream. But his levels weren't shifting. We took a look at his daily routine and found the culprit. He was drinking water out of the same old plastic bottle every day. Once he switched to glass and stainless steel, boom! 3 weeks later, his energy shot up, his sleep improved, and he told me, "Doc, I feel like I'm back in the driver's seat." This is one of the simplest fixes you can make, and it pays off huge. Avoid microwaving food in plastic. Store leftovers in glass. Stop buying those giant plastic jugs of water. You don't need to be perfect, just conscious. Your environment matters. Your hormones are listening to everything you put in, on, and around your body. And when you remove the silent saboteurs, your body can finally start climbing again. Which brings us to something I call the testosterone trifecta. 3 simple rules every man over 60 should follow every single day. 5. The testosterone trifecta. These are the 3 must-dos I've found that consistently help men boost testosterone naturally without meds. 1. Eat for hormone strength. That means healthy fats like egg yolks, avocados, grass-fed meats. Your hormones are built on fat and cholesterol. Starve them of that and they shrink. Feed them well and they thrive. 2. Move daily. You don't need to hit the gym for 2 hours. A brisk 20-minute walk, some light weights, or even bodyweight squats are enough. Motion tells your body, I'm still in the game. It triggers testosterone production, reduces stress hormones like cortisol, and boosts mood. 3. Rest like it matters. Sleep is when your testosterone gets made. If you're getting 5 broken hours, your levels will reflect that. Aim for 7 to 8 solid hours. Keep your room cool, dark, and tech-free. I can't tell you how many men's hormone levels jump just from fixing their sleep. One of my patients, Jerry, 72, hadn't slept through the night in 15 years. We worked on his environment, got the screens out of the bedroom, added a magnesium supplement, and within a month he was sleeping like a rock. He said, I forgot what rest had felt like. That's the trifecta: fuel, move, rest. It's not sexy, but it works. And when it becomes routine, that's when we layer in the game-changing stuff. Like this. 6. Your daily action plan. Here's where it all comes together. Simple, doable, and most importantly, it works. Every morning, before you check your phone, before the news, before coffee, fuel up with purpose. 2 whole eggs gently cooked. 1 Brazil nut. A tablespoon of raw pumpkin seeds. This isn't just breakfast. It's your hormonal primer. You're giving your body the building blocks, cholesterol, selenium, zinc, to start producing testosterone again like it used to. Then move. Walk 20 minutes, even around your house or yard. You don't need a gym, just motion. I always say, motion feeds the mind and the hormones. And in the evening, take 1 minute to apply the wild yam cream. A small amount, rub gently into your inner arms or chest. This is your body's second cue of the day, a signal to reset and repair. Consistency is the key. Stay hydrated, sleep deep, avoid plastic, keep sugar low. That's it. No overhaul, just alignment. Small daily decisions that shift your entire trajectory. And while structure is powerful, there's one piece most people never talk about, and it might be the missing link between trying and thriving. 7. Emotional truth. You are still a man. Let me say that again, because too many men forget this. You are still a man, and no number on a birthday cake can change that. I want you to hear this with your whole heart. Aging does not mean disappearing. Just because time has passed doesn't mean your purpose, your drive, your identity have passed too. I've talked with men who once led companies, trained athletes, raised families, and now they barely recognize their own reflection. They've accepted the slow fade. But I'm here to tell you, the flame isn't gone. It's just buried. When testosterone rises, something wakes up. Your voice gets stronger, your thoughts get sharper. You stop apologizing for wanting to feel alive again. This isn't about ego. It's about returning to the man you remember being, the one who led, created, loved boldly. I've seen it happen in men of all ages. And every time it starts with belief, not in supplements or protocols, but in themselves. That's what changes everything. And now, let me give you something that can support that belief even more. A natural compound that's helped more of my patients than almost anything else. 8. The final ingredient few talk about. It's not a drug. It's not a trend. It's a root that's been used for centuries in one of the harshest environments on Earth. It's called maca root. Grown high in the Andes Mountains, maca was once prized by warriors before battle. Why? Because it supported stamina, clarity, and drive. But what's incredible about maca isn't just its history, it's how it works. See, maca doesn't force your body to create testosterone. That's what makes it different from other so-called boosters. Instead, it supports your whole hormonal system, your endocrine system. So balance comes back naturally. I had a patient, Carlos, 68, who added just a teaspoon of maca powder to his oatmeal each morning. 3 weeks in, he told me he hadn't felt that steady in years. More energy, less anxiety, and in his words, a quiet kind of fire. Another man, 71, said it felt like someone had switched the lights back on. He laughed more, he slept deeper, and for the first time in years, he felt close to his wife again. Not just physically, but emotionally. That's what maca can do. Not a miracle pill, not a magic wand, but a steady helper that reminds your system how to function again. And the beauty? It's safe, natural, and widely available. You'll find it in health food stores or trusted online sources. Look for organic, gelatinized versions. They're easier to digest. And once you pair it with the daily habits we've talked about, fueling right, moving daily, sleeping well, cutting plastics, applying the yam cream, you've built a foundation that lasts. Because real change doesn't come from one big fix. It comes from consistent action, day after day, that rewires how your body shows up for you. Now let's get to the part everyone waits for, the real questions men ask when they're ready to take that first step. 9. Frequently asked questions. Over the years, I've had hundreds of honest conversations with men starting this path, and their questions are often the same. So if you've been wondering these things, you're not alone. First, is this really safe for someone my age? Absolutely. Everything we've covered, maca root, yam cream, nutrient-dense foods, is gentle, natural, and supports your body rather than overriding it. But yes, I always recommend talking to your doctor, especially if you're on medications. Still, I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s thrive using this approach. Another big one, how long does it take to feel a difference? For some, results show up within 2 weeks, better sleep, more morning energy, clearer thinking. For others, it takes closer to 6 to 8 weeks. But when the changes come, they're real. Not just numbers on a chart, but how you carry yourself, how you feel when you wake up. One man told me, I started waking up before my alarm for the first time in over a decade. That's the body saying, I'm back online. Another common question, where do I find quality maca or yam cream? Good health stores often stock both. Online retailers like trusted wellness brands are great too. Just keep it pure. Avoid added fillers or synthetic junk. Simplicity is power. And here's one more question I hear often, especially at the end of a man's first visit. So, what happens next? And I always say, the real work begins, because knowledge without action won't change a thing. But you, right now, are not the same as you were 20 minutes ago. You've got clarity, tools, and a plan. And now there's just one thing left to do. Final message from Dr. James. If you've come this far, then hear me clearly. This matters. You've already done the hardest part. You've decided not to fade away quietly. You've decided you still have something to fight for, yourself. And that's everything. Because the steps we've talked about today, eating for strength, cutting plastics, moving your body, applying the yam cream, trying maca root, none of it works unless you believe you're still worth the effort. And I promise you, you are. I've watched men light up again. Shoulders roll back, voices deepen, jokes come easier. Not because they found some miracle, but because they made small, simple choices twice a day. The egg yolks, the pumpkin seeds, the wild yam, they're just tools. What matters more is when a man looks in the mirror and says, I want to feel like me again, and then actually does something about it. That's when the shift happens. That's when you stop surviving and start living again. So let's bring it all home. Testosterone isn't just a hormone. It's a signal of power, purpose, and connection. Losing it doesn't mean you've lost your identity. Getting it back, that's about more than biology. It's about reclaiming your space in this world, your drive, your confidence, your spark. I hope this guide gave you more than information. I hope it gave you permission to try again, because I believe with everything I've seen that you are not done. You've got more in you, and now you've got the tools. Twice a day, every day. The only question is, will you begin?